Hey everyone, so this video is at a different filming angle, definitely, but it is going to be an overview of my makeup collection. So previously you would have seen that my makeup took up the space of two of these units, and these ones behind me, there's two of those and another one of these that's 9 drawers tall. So previously it filled pretty much all of them. A couple of them were nail polishes and other things, but a lot of it was makeup. So over the years I've pared it down, gotten rid of a whole heap of stuff. If it was expired, thrown it away. If it was no good or just looked a little funky or just wasn't really good to pass on, I just threw it away. If it was something that was unused, it could be donated. So if it was unused and unopened and still fine, that's okay. But for anything that was still good but used or slightly used, I just wanted to see if family or friends wanted it, and if they did, they could take it. If not, I just got rid of it. So there was a lot of stuff, quite a lot of stuff. And I think that this is now, all my collection is now in this one unit here, and I still think that is quite a substantial collection, at least in my opinion. It's still quite a lot of stuff, and I'm finding that I don't use all of it, but I am using more of it now that I'm filming a bit more. So I want to keep what I have and see what I'm using, and that way I'll know if there's things that I still don't use, and then I'll go through the whole process again of going through it, seeing what I'm not using and passing it along or getting rid of it. So this is my collection now. It takes up this 6 drawer unit, which I think every second person here on YouTube that collects makeup or things similar has this unit. It's one of the IKEA, I think it's from an Alex range, but it's one of the IKEA units. And this is, yeah, pretty much everything. It doesn't include nail polishes or fragrances. They are in different spots all around the room, and this is just the makeup part. So I wanted to show you my updated makeup collection. So here we go. The top drawer is eyeshadow palettes and eyebrow stuff mainly. So I still have quite a few palettes, and there's a few more down below of loose eyeshadows. I don't use all of them, but some of them I wanted to keep because there were a few colours in there that I really liked and didn't have in singles. So you've got things like Too Faced palettes, a couple of Colourpop Maybelline, I think it's L'Oreal palettes. A lot of them are still fairly neutral toned or peachy toned. Those are just the types of things that I go for. Occasionally greens and smoky colours as well. So you've got the Urban Decay. See, this one's the case is falling apart, but I do like the palette itself. The Naked palette. There's another Milani palette just here. A Zoeva Basics one. I actually use that one quite a lot. Again, it's just a really neutral kind of palette, and that's a trend with a lot of these. I then have another Stiller palette, which I don't use often, but there is a colour in there that I really like. These are some Wet n Wild small palettes, and another Maybelline one. The Naked Basics, which I actually really like. The Naked Basics, I think it's the Naked 2, Basics 2. That one there, I actually really like those. They're matte nude neutrals. I've then got this Laura Mercier palette, and that's again more neutrals with some cool toned like plum or purple shades, and some of the Stiller palettes. And back here is eyebrow stuff. So I've got NYX tinted brow mascaras, I've got an Australis one. I haven't used it, it's still unopened, and I just haven't used it. It's a bit dark, but I'm holding on to it just in case. I've got the Gimme Brow in 4 different colours, going from light to dark, so anywhere between 3 and 5. I've got a couple of other products. This one's a Maybelline one, which was similar, and then another one of the Benefit products in the 3D brow tones. These are the Maybelline colour tattoos. So I did a video on them a long time ago, but I have repurchased one colour, actually 2 of the colours in, I think, medium brown and light brown a couple of times because I do like it. I don't use it as much anymore, but I still do like it enough that I reused it. Then I have some brow products at the back here, just things like the Ardell and some other powder brow products, which I don't really use that often. I prefer just to use the wand type products. The next drawer down is sort of a mix of things. These are things that I tend to use more frequently, and I don't know why they're in the second drawer, not the top drawer, but I just had room, so this is where they went. These are some of my MAC highlighters or skin finishes. Some of the MAC loose, so whatever was in a pan that I haven't depotted or put into a palette, or is like a dome shape, they're in here. So there's some eyeshadows, some blushes as well. My Benefit palette, it's a cheek palette. These are some MAC blushes, so there's 2 palettes again. The colour tones are peaches, pinks, and some like brown shades and beige tones, I guess. These are the mascaras that I have currently unopened and not used, and then when I use them I will stick a little dot and write the date that I opened it on the little sticker, and that's the one I'm currently using at the moment. These are also the Hourglass cheek palette, so the highlighter palette, there's an ambient powder there, my eyelash curler, and these are just products that I reach for a little more frequently than others. So there's some Revlon lip crayons. What were they called? I can't remember now. I think the name has come off them. The Just Bitten Kissable Balm, or lip balm stains, the balm stains. There's a few of them in there. I just find them really easy to use. They don't make as many colours now, but they still make enough, or similar products anyway. So they're in there. The third drawer, this is the rest of my eyeshadows. And so mainly a lot of the products that I have kept are more powder products or eyeshadows. So in here are the MAC eyeshadow colours that I've kept, and that's what these are in these little palettes here. And these are actually Australis magnetic palettes. It's an Australian brand, and I just moved them into little colour stories, I guess, that made up, you know, some of the different shades. So I'm getting more into those. I bought some Colourpop eyeshadows, which I haven't reached for them as much. I bought them online, and they're pretty, but they are a little bit flaky and sometimes too glittery, and I haven't really had a need for really glittery or fancy flashy eyeshadow, but if I want to do a look for a video, maybe I will use them a bit more. There's nothing wrong with them, it's just I don't reach for them as much as just plain, neutral, boring tones. Here are my Inglot eyeshadows, which I'm actually wearing them today, and I haven't used them for a while, and after using them I really like them. They still work great. They blend well, they go on well, they're true to colour. So I really like them. I actually had a palette that I hadn't used that I had from Inglot, which I was thinking about either selling or giving it away, but I might keep it because it's the colours that I was going for, and instead I might get rid of some of my other stuff, because I knew in some of my other palettes there were some neutral tones that were similar to the Inglot ones, but after using the Inglot ones from these palettes, I think the formula might just be better in this one for me, in the Inglot type. So I might actually get that palette out from the stuff that I'm getting rid of and or selling, which there wasn't many. It was just the Inglot palette, only because it was a big palette that I purchased and spent a lot on not that long ago. Well, it's a little while ago, but not that recently. So I might put that one back and take some other stuff out. So we'll see. I'll think on that for a little bit. This one is my base products. So these are my foundations and concealers and tinted moisturizers. To be honest, I don't use a lot of foundations. I very rarely use foundation, and generally it's when I'm filming that I use foundation. I do use concealer occasionally, so just like little spot concealing, but yeah, I don't really do full face of makeup very frequently. Occasionally I will. Some MAC powders or powder foundations. These ones are as well the mineralized skin finishes. I used to really love the skin finishes, but then they changed the colour range a little bit, and what used to suit me doesn't really suit me anymore. Now the shades aren't quite right. The Studio MAC Studio Fix in NW15 is pretty good. I think I'm between NW15 and 20 though, but this is good enough. It's close enough. What I'm finding I'm using more at the moment is more of the powder foundations. So there's a Nude by Nature one here and a Bare Minerals matte finish one there, and they're both in probably fair. Yes, fair and fair. It's generally fair or pale or light or something along those lines. The rest are setting powders. So I've got an Hourglass one, Makeup Forever, and a couple of others. There's a setting spray. I also, if I'm just not setting the makeup but wanting it to look a little less powdery, I have a Mario Badescu Rose Water spray that I use, and that works really well as well, just to get rid of that powdery look and finish after I've done my makeup. These are all my base products, so primers, or a couple of oils in there as well, and eye primers. There's the Benefit, what's it, Pore something or other, Professional. There's a few of the Garnier, Australis, there's a NYX one in there, Maybelline, a Tarte, L'Oreal. There's a few that I'm trying again. The L'Oreal Infallible one was okay, it's not great. I mean, to be honest, none of the primers that I've tried have really knocked my socks off. Like, I've never really found a primer that was my holy grail product. So if you do have recommendations for primers, particularly my issue is more in the summer months, my skin does tend to get more oily, and so my makeup breaks apart, and I want something to stop that. So I did use the Cover FX custom blot drops. They were okay, but again, not great. And then in the winter I do get dry patches, so it's more just to try to cover that up. But you know, they're fine. They do a little bit, but they're okay. Yeah, so that's that drop. The next one is again a bit of a mixed sort of bag. There's some Inglot blushes, which I don't reach for very often, but they do have some nice colours. It's just a lot of the ones that I chose have shimmer or glitter in them, and with blush, at least now I'm finding that I like to use blushes that don't have any shimmer or glitter. So we'll see. I do have some more single blush pans in here, so there's blushes there. The Sephora blushes I'm finding are quite nice. This Milani one I actually really like. It's the Milani Luminoso. Even though this one is a bit shimmery, it's a nice kind of shimmer. The Inglot ones, it's almost like they have tiny glitter particles, which at least on my skin, because I have some texture in my skin and some pores around that area, it kind of just draws too much attention to that. But if you had like really nice smooth skin, or if you had a base that you could get that look, then they might work really well, because they're pretty colours. It's just they don't suit my skin that well, so we'll see. I've got some powdered blushes here, which again, I don't reach for these ones too often, but I will try them again soon, because I am getting back into the powdered foundation, so these might be good. I got rid of all my cream products, my cream blushes, cream contours and stuff like that. I wish I could use them. It's just every time I tried, they looked terrible. Either I couldn't do it, my skin just didn't react well to them. No matter what brand it was, no matter how I applied it with my fingers, with a sponge, with a brush, with a stippling brush, with a kabuki brush, it didn't matter. It just didn't look right. And so powders, yes, even though I have some dry skin or texture or whatever, and some people say it'll look better if it's cream, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. Maybe one day. We'll see. But yeah, there's some highlighters in here. There's some highlighters across the front, which are the ones that I go for more often, but I don't tend to use a lot of highlighter. And if I do, sometimes I'll just use like an eyeshadow if I'm going to use highlighter. So next to them though are my lip products. So again, it's just a lot of the balm stains. There's some mixed just lipstick products over here as well. And that's that drawer. And the bottom drawer I don't really use very often, but I kept them because they're still fine. This drawer is mainly just these are stuff that I was kind of keeping because I like the colours, and I'm not going to use them really as makeup products. They're really old red earth pigments, but if I'm mixing them in with nail polishes or doing nail art, sometimes they can come in handy. And it's the same for all of these MAC pigment pots. Whilst I may not use them for like eyeshadows because they are a bit fiddly, there's still some beautiful colours, and I can mix them in to form like custom nail polish shades. So that's another reason why I like to hold on to these, because it's something that I find quite fun, and I'm just thinking of different ways to do nail art and stuff like that with those. And then some Naked Cosmetics. These ones are actually, some of them are quite finely milled, these ones, and they're very pigmented, but again, they're just, I kind of go for simple stuff now. Like, I don't want fussy stuff. I just want basic, simple, trustworthy, reliable was I'm thinking, like predictable stuff. If I'm going to use it, I want to know what it's going to turn out like, and just, you know, tried and true. I have some liquid eyeliners. They're just Essence ones because they're cheap. Some of them dried out, so they've got some basic ones here, but I probably won't use them. So these might be the next thing that I get rid of, is just like gel liners. There's only a couple in there. And then just the Makeup Forever Professional Kit, which I don't use, but I will keep it, because I'm thinking about doing a video, which one of you suggested, about hyped products. So products that were overhyped or hyped at the time, and just to do an update on have they survived the test of time and what my thoughts are about them. And that is probably one of them, and a couple of other things in here. And there's a few things that I have gotten rid of, or there's some products that I've kept in like a train case, a makeup case, just for that purpose of like more of a nostalgia thing, just to keep a couple of key items that just bring back memories, not to necessarily use. But there's some stuff that I have that I've sort of taken with me, a few lipsticks or lip smackers that I first got back in 1994 when I was 10 years old. And things like that, I think sometimes it's okay to keep stuff like that. A few things here and there. And it's enough that it fits in one train case, like a small, size of a small toolbox. nothing huge, like 2 A4 papers, sort of, like a small box essentially. And it's just got some stuff that I either want to find something that's a similar colour, and I know that the product's no good anymore, but I really liked the colour and it worked really well with my skin tone. And when I find something that colour, I can get rid of it. Or something that has sentimental value and just brings back good memories. Those are the types of things that I'll keep too. But as far as makeup goes, that's it. That's my collection. So there's not a whole lot compared to what I did have, and there's still more than what I want. So it's just working out what works for me now and just getting rid of the stuff that just doesn't, or the stuff that I don't want anymore. But that's it. So if you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, if you have any requests for other videos, or if you want anything in particular, please let me know. And yeah, that's the end. I hope you liked it. I hope it was interesting, or you know, I know a lot of you have also said that you've been paring down your collections over the years, and for me at least, it feels good to have less. I mean, I like fragrances more. I do like nail stuff still, but yet my focus has changed. What I enjoy has changed a little bit, and I'm more interested in spending my money and savings, or like my budget savings, on those types of products than an eyeshadow palette where I only like one colour. I just like having what I like, not what I'm told I should like, and that's a bit different. So yeah, it feels good. But if you've gone through and decluttered your makeup collection, let me know. What was your experience? Did it feel good? Was it hard? Maybe this might inspire you to go through and take that step. And if you're nervous and anxious about it, I was at first, and then it just got to a point where you just let it go, and it's just makeup. And yes, it's still nice to have, and it's just I had too much. And you know, a couple of the things that held really good memories or sentimental value, it's okay to keep those. But I didn't need a lot of it. And so, you know, if you're worried that you might regret it, there's a few things that I've gotten rid of where I'm like, oh, I could have used that, but no big deal. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. So yeah, it is what it is. But that's all. I think that's it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day, night, morning, whatever it may be, wherever you are. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.